You are in direct violation of Section 3, subsection A. These patches are unauthorized alterations to the community aesthetic.
This is ridiculous, Karen.
I woke up to yelling over the water and the slap of duct tape on metal, cold air leaking through the bedroom window while my coffee machine hissed in the kitchen. I walked out to my deck barefoot, breath fogging in the morning air, and saw it. Every single ladder on the community lake dock, mine included, was covered in neon orange violation stickers. They were slapped up crooked, flapping in the wind like warning flags. At the end of the dock stood Karen, our HOA president, in her bright pink visor, barking orders at the compliance guy as he stuck another sticker on my ladder. I called out, asking what on earth she was doing to my dock ladder. She didn't even turn at first, just lifted her clipboard like a badge. She finally said the ladders were unapproved structures and a danger, and that the board had voted. Nobody asked me. Nobody told me. This is the story of how HOA posted violation stickers all over my lake dock ladders. Then I filed the injunction. The smell of fresh asphalt from roadwork and lake water mixed in the air while neighbors stood on their porches, pretending not to stare. One waved weakly, then looked away when Karen glared in his direction. I tried the polite way first. That afternoon, May 3, 2024 at 3:15 p.m., I walked into the HOA office with my coffee and my nicest inside voice. I asked to see the safety report. There wasn't one. I asked for the vote record. Karen said the board can act in emergencies and called my ladder a lawsuit waiting to happen. I reminded her that my kids and the neighbor's little boy used that ladder to get out of the water safely. She shrugged and said I could remove it or pay fines. That night there was a notice on my door saying I owed $200 per day until the ladder was removed. Neighbors texted me quietly, saying they were sorry, but they did not want to get on Karen's bad side. I realized nobody was going to stand up to her. So I decided I would. I drew my line in the sand, or really, in the wet mud by the lake. I was not taking that ladder down. But I also wasn't going to scream or throw things. I promised myself I would use only proper channels. No crazy revenge. Just the boring kind that ruins bullies. I pulled out our HOA bylaws, the city code, and the lake safety regulations. That stack of paper hit my kitchen table like a brick. I highlighted every line that said shared lake access must stay safe for residents. Blocking shared lake access without a safety reason breaks state property law. I called a lawyer friend from college, told him everything, and he laughed and said this was the most HOA thing he had ever heard. Then we got serious. We mapped it out. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Karen had once called the sheriff on my brother for fishing off the dock while visiting. We kept going. Fake emergency votes, random fines, nasty emails. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I filed a public records request with the city for every complaint about our lake access and every inspection report. 2 weeks later, the file landed with 63 pages. Right there in plain words, the city had told the HOA 3 years before that more ladders were recommended for safety, not fewer. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted, and patterns of ignoring safety warnings look terrible in front of a judge. My lawyer filed for a temporary injunction against the HOA to stop the fines and protect the ladders. When the hearing date came, June 12 at 9:00 a.m., the courthouse hallway smelled like coffee and old paper. Karen marched in with 2 board members behind her like backup dancers, clutching a thin folder. I had my binder, the city file, and a USB drive of every picture of those neon stickers. In the courtroom, my lawyer walked the judge through the timeline. He pointed out the city letter praising the ladders. Then he slid over the HOA bylaws where it said any structural change to common property needed a full vote of the members. The judge asked to see Karen's evidence. She had 4 blurry photos and a made-up emergency note with no dates. The judge's eyebrows went up so high I thought they might leave his face. He said the HOA had overstepped, that there was no proof of danger, and that the process was not followed at all. Then he granted the injunction on the spot. All fines were paused, and the HOA was ordered not to remove or tamper with dock ladders until further order. When we walked out, neighbors who had slipped into the back row were already texting the news to the group chat. By that evening, we were all standing on the dock again as a city inspector, holding the same file, told Karen she had to remove every sticker herself or face a fine of $1,000 for non-compliance with the court order. Phones were out. People were filming from their decks. One teenager whispered that he was live streaming it. Watching Karen peel those neon stickers off my ladder, hands shaking, was a better show than anything on TV. She tried to make jokes, but nobody laughed. Someone on the shore clapped every time she scraped off another piece of glue. The inspector stood there with a clipboard, checking them off one by one. The water lapped at the dock, kids giggled, and the cold breeze felt a lot warmer than it had that first morning. By sunset, every ladder was clean and shining in the golden light. The videos hit social media. Comments poured in about power-hungry HOAs and lake ladder justice. Our quiet street suddenly knew exactly who had really broken the rules. The board held an emergency meeting a week later, and this time, all the homeowners showed up. Faces that used to peek from behind curtains now sat in folding chairs with crossed arms. The insurance letter for the lawsuit defense had come in. The HOA had to pay my legal fees of $4,500 and their extra costs. Dues were going up because of the mess, and everyone knew why. Karen tried to blame the compliance guy, but he just stared at the floor. The board voted to remove her as president and bar her from enforcing violations. She ended up resigning from the board completely. After that, our dock felt different. On warm nights, we grilled together, kids jumping off the ladders, neighbors finally talking like friends. The air smelled like charcoal, lake water, and something else we hadn't had in a long time: peace. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.